Hey guys, how's it going? I'm not too sure if this is recording yet. I'm trying to test it on another computer just to see. Let's see here. Got monitor capture. Let me just double check. According to this, it should be working, but it's not showing up on my website as of yet. So let me just double check because I want to make sure this is on. Okay, we're good. It says we're live now. The problem is there's like a 30-second delay, so I'm never quite sure whether or not it's recording. And the other night I was recording something and I may have been hitting the wrong button. I'm not too sure what happened, but anyways, so yeah, July 17th. We're at about 8:32 right now, p.m. in the evening, and what I wanted to do tonight, if you are not too sure of what the cycle is, or I'm going to expand. I'm going to go a little bit further than just talking about the cycle itself. I'm going to talk about how time differs and why it's important for us and why things are the way they are, or how they're set up, is at least the vision that I have. Now, the RTS software has nothing to do with the cycle itself. So if somebody wants to generate and do whatever they want, that's up to them. The last video I posted, actually, it took a little bit longer than I expected because it wasn't as an easy fix, and that was a known issue with RTS with certain trains that weren't going to go in. You know, I should get myself a drink. Not the kind of drink you think it is. Just give me 1 second here. I think that's what Mike said. He needed a drink for this after a bit of a situation we had prior to the weekend. And anyways, I won't get into too much of that at the moment. We'll try to focus on the task at hand. So let me start with the first agenda and explaining what the cycle is all about. If you're going in right now, you will see the welcome screen. I'll just refresh it here, and this will update. It should update in a second here. So it says 106:39 a.m. So by rights we should be. Now it's gone to 106:52. So it hasn't really changed too much. You can see today's date it has updated. This is the actual and what the actual server time is. The server time is 4 hours difference than where I am in Eastern time zone because of daylight savings. So the actual server time has no relation to the cycle time. Those are two different things. We are, if you take a look at the cycle data, so we're at it says that we're at 106, which means we should be on the new cycle. What happened was we got into a weekend. You might have been seeing some Entropia Universe videos if you were taking a look at my channel. And what that's all about is because my weekends are with my son, and I'm not doing anything RTS related other than possibly reading a few emails when I get a chance if he's going on the computer or doing something else. But you take a look at the cycle data right now. You just have to go over to the cycle. The cycle that we are under was 46. Now it has actually gone past midnight, which is normal. This often happens. Sometimes we do it. I used to do it like the night before. Sometimes it's not too bad, but I think we were as much as 2 days. As you can see, estimated cycle end is July 16th. Well, we'll tell you we're the 17th, so we're already almost 2 full days over what the last cycle end was. This sheet is actually the good thing about this sheet is it's actually goes up to 48, so it's actually already set up. We did have a 48 slowdown factor, and we're going back to it. Mike has requested that it goes back to 48. just to slow things down a little bit, make sure that he can handle things, make sure that others can handle things, etc., etc. It means, unfortunately, what that does, and I explained this to Mike, when you do something like that, what'll happen is the one that suffers the most is usually the newbies looking for trains out of the Mojave sub, because that's the first route they always get, obviously, when they purchase it. I'm not on the server right now, so really I can't go too much further, into that to see actually what's on. So going to the agenda, though, actually no, let me just go a little bit further on this. I'm just seeing here. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the backup just yet. I'm still going to explain the cycle and how the cycle factors play in, and other various things to what's happening. So you look at the welcome screen once again, and this will, some of it, like Mojave, for example, that's something we're going to be taking out. I'll probably do another one for the admins, just so that they know how to generate a sheet, how you can get calculations, how you can dig into the data. But a lot of this here is just formulas, so you count ifs, statements, and yes, you need to understand how these formulas work, but it's basically set up to tell you how many trains are available, like for example, how much crew minutes are available in Bakersfield, how much crew minutes are available right now in Barstow. Now, we don't have any trains set up by the Yardmaster in Barstow, because right now our main concern is to fix some issues that took place late last week. We were just basically there was total, I don't know what, but it just went crazy. Procedures were being followed, and then they weren't. And unfortunately, if myself, I didn't notice, because it's no longer my server, so I didn't catch it right away, and it really didn't dawn on me that there was an issue. But what had happened was, for a period of about 2 days, there was a lot of yard work that was being done in all yards, and it just totally blew out the system that was in place. Certain locals didn't get run; they got returned to yards. Other trains got broken down immediately. And the reason why I want to get, and this isn't to harp on what happened. What happened happened. There's nothing that can be done about it. But what we can do is try to explain why it's essential, because people get all. I've seen this confusion before, where people will see what's happening. And by the way, Mike, I know you're probably watching tonight. If there's any issues with the stream, if you can, I will be in this sheet quite a bit. So go ahead and just send me a message as you normally would. I'll pick it up here. So just basically basically how we were chatting before earlier on. Just go ahead and do it, and that'll take care of that. So, other than that, hopefully it doesn't show my history, because I was, well, I could pause the stream for a minute and check. Actually, maybe I'll go onto your server if I get a chat message. But if there's an issue, how about I just go onto the server, just to make sure everything is okay. And what I will do, yeah, I got the message now. I'm more concerned about the history of the message, so he obviously saw it, so that sounds good. That's a good sign. Let me just make sure everything is going okay. There was one little small one that I had started. Yeah, there's no reason why I can't stay on the server throughout if he has any questions, so yeah, Mike, if you have any questions, just let me know that way. It'll be easier. Um, I didn't expect that to pop up, but anyways. So, but anyways, yeah. So yeah, don't go through there. That was more of a private conversation that was going on. I didn't want the private conversation to start bleeding out. So, if it did, oh well. But it is what it is. So, let me go back to what I was starting as far as the time. You take a look at how do I explain this? You take a look at something like Barstow. Whoops. Let me just check. Okay. So you take a look at something like Barstow, and there's 132 minutes. What was happening before is this would go up in series of 36 minutes per cycle. What's going to happen is we're going to change the cycle factor tonight from 40 to 48. What that means is instead of 36-minute days, it'll go to 30-minute days. And the reason why this is so important, you can see these car flows that are taking place here. And what this is from live data. Now, we're not going to be updating this data tonight because we do have an arrival yard that has plenty of work to do. The next time myself and Mike will be available together, as far as I know, will be Tuesday night. Everything is on standby right now. We want to make sure everything, we have a plan ahead. It's 8:42 p.m. right now in the east, so I've got about 2.5 hours tonight to get through this, so this should be fine. But the reason why I wanted to get into the whole cycles and why we use the timing. If you go in and you're let's just say, let's go with Bakersfield mainline for a second. Okay. If you go in on, and this is what confuses, because the whole cycle thing confuses. You can see a time here that goes from July the 6th to July 19th, or July 14th to July 22nd. The whole reason behind that. Are you really relinquishing that train? Okay. Do I have a no, I don't have a train. Oh. Bear's got a train. Okay. Alright. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, if you're on the server and you got yourself a train, you're holding on to it or whatever, relinquish it, do a crew change. Or don't hit on, standing on the server or hanging out on the server or whatever. I mean, you can do it and all if you want, I suppose. It just takes up, it doesn't take up bandwidth, but it could potentially take up resources. But if you certainly want to go on the server and take a look around, I mean, there should be no problem there. But anyways, the difference between the times here. That difference actually covers, and I will show you a hidden formula right, is it here? I think it's here. Okay. So this is a hidden formula that you don't normally will see. And what that is a time, an actual time it takes for a train minimum. And we're not talking about having, like, the Amtrak should only take minimum, it should take a minimum of 20 minutes to get from where it is at the Amtrak station in Bakersfield to the end of the line. Whereas some of these other trains, we got it set that goes all the way to Needles from Bakersfield, we've got it set for 7 hours and 30 minutes. Others that go into Barstow only take 5 hours. That's 5 hours of real time. Now, a lot of people might have 5 hours or 7 hours or even 8 hours a day and might be able to do an entire run, which is fine. And there's no reason why people shouldn't get worried about this whole cycle thing and thinking, well, I only have 30 minutes. The reason the factor goes in for the yards is to not either if we go into Barstow, it's not, you don't want to overwhelm the yard or break down a train too quickly, because everybody will run trains differently. You can't control that. Now in real life, yeah, some trains will be more delayed than others, but when you're talking about a factor of 40, which will soon be 48, of real time versus actual time, the actual real time versus cycle time, what's happening is, what takes here basically a week. It gives you a week of time on the server to get it from one point to the other. So 8 hours is basically you're looking at a third of the cycle. So you have 8 hours of sleep in a day, like for example, and you have 8 hours of rest and commutes or whatever, and eating or shopping, and then you got 8 hours of work. So you're talking about a third of the actual cycle. A cycle basically represents 24 hours of an actual day on the line. So when I take a look at Barstow, just for example, Barstow, but this is why Barstow's working perfectly fine. It is actually working in fine shape right now. Yes, there's some extra arrivals. It's not a big deal. If you look at the Barstow main, we have a couple trains on standby. It's not a big deal. Yes, they're delayed. And they're delayed, but remember, that time was at 0100. So, yeah, that one's really delayed. At 6 o'clock p.m. it should have came out. It actually switches at Bakersfield, so you got to watch that too. Sometimes some people aren't paying attention to that. There's some other comments here. 3-2. I'm not too sure about what that is. So I'm going to delete those because it's in the work field. I just noticed that there. I'm not too sure if I put them in or whatever, but there's places where you can put instructions. So you gotta watch out when you put instructions in here. You got to make sure you delete it at the end of a cycle. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But going back to the matrix there, if somebody was to bring in a bunch of trains and just start switching them or breaking them down or humping them or trimming them, what ends up happening is you have a balance that all of a sudden is basically thrown out of whack totally. In the case of Bakersfield right now, and I will bring up the Bakersfield incident briefly here, not to kill a dead horse, but there's a lesson to be learned in what's happened in Bakersfield. If you look over at Bakersfield, what happened was we were still in the process of running trains, and they never got run. They were delayed for a very long time. We've been short admins, we've been short people who are interested in running the yards or asking questions, or people shy away. And for me personally, this is one of the reasons why I got away from running the server, was because I didn't have time to deal with this anymore. I have to get the program, I got bugs, all kinds of other things. So what ended up happening is we had, I believe Mike finished the Kern job, but there was an SJVR job that still hadn't switched. Now I put in instructions, go ahead, it's ready to go, and nobody took it. Nobody either knew how to take it, or was interested in taking it, or was afraid to take it. But then eventually what ended up happening was somebody assumed, or unfortunately made a mistake that was never caught for 2 days at least, and the whole thing, the industries were never switched, so cars were never coming back. But at the same time, what ended up happening was another train came in to Bakersfield and was broken down, and everything was switched into this nice cookie cutter, beautiful yard, because I guess they figured they didn't have to worry about time, that somehow Bakersfield was no longer timed. And of course, we had, as far as I know, the procedures are in place. Don't quote me on that one. And if they're not in place, by all means, let myself or the admins know. Somebody actually let me know. It was really cool because we had a new user who came on and said, well, this procedure told him that he can't remove engines. And that was an old procedure we had, but we took it away. It never got removed. So it was in one of the instructions, and it was conflicting with other information he was getting, and it was perfect. And he actually went in and edited it, which was great. It got rid of the old. So having people communicate with us and saying, well, I don't understand this because this says this, that's okay. Letting us know that something doesn't make sense and telling us why it doesn't make sense or why it's confusing to you is important. Communication's very important. And we try our best to communicate outward. We try our best to update the procedures. We try our best now. We're doing these live streams, etc. And I don't want to go any more on the Bakersfield thing. It's done with. Mike's got a ban right now, basically, on local switching. That's not going to last forever. He's in the midst of figuring things out as well. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to hopefully help out maybe on Tuesday, or if things aren't under control. It's a bit of a mess. We couldn't really go back 2 days. We could have. It was a possibility, but we decided to let things go. And we were working against the clock to try and figure out if we could work our way against the clock, if we were behind, if there was enough ability in the cycle to be able to fix. Because all this whole cycle thing going on, a lot of this timing and this going on, and I want to go on. One other thing that I do want to get on, and this has to do with AI. Because we introduced these things with AI, but the cycle as you know it, or the way it works and the way I'm describing it now, is going to change entirely by the time AI comes around. In fact, the registry's going to change. So a lot of this stuff, unfortunately, everything's changing. Whether it be the RTS software, which really hasn't changed that much. What really changes the most is the Run 8 software. So when the Run 8 software all of a sudden has a Bakersfield update, all of a sudden we got to change the way the data handles things. We got to change the way things go. We got to change the system. You got to change all kinds of things when something like that happens. And unfortunately, it brought some bugs in the RTS system to light because of some of the smaller blocks that they were using, etc., which I explained in the last video. But anyways, so what we're looking at now is we've gone over the current cycle, which is fine. But before I get to that, I'm going to get to it really quickly here because I don't want to go too much. It's almost 9 o'clock, so I want to get this. But I wanted to make that clear. What's going to probably happen in AI, right now we have a cycle factor that works from start of the cycle to the end of the cycle. So this cycle started in June 6th, and it was estimated cycle end of July 16th. So that is a total of 40 days. We are on, and we lost something there. I think we lost something. Something didn't make... Okay, it just came back. I don't know what happened there. Current cycle day of the week, Sunday. I lost it there for a second. I swear it lost it. It looked like it disappeared, but anyways. So, yeah. So you've got June the 6th to July 16th. Estimated daily requirements. You know, that's not really a big deal. The cycle minutes each day, that's a formula which basically divides B2. So you take a 24-hour period, divide it by the slowdown factor, and that's what you get. This is going to be changing tonight to 48. But what I see happening with AI, and I don't know why this thing's calculating, but it is. But what I see happening with AI is there's going to be periods of when we are going to be running full tilt with a full dispatching crew, full yard crew, perhaps. I don't know. and then there's going to be times where we don't. So I still see the cycle being a possibility, but I see things turning on and off. In other words, you run a certain cycle factor for a while, but then you go totally live for a while as well, because you got AIs running trains if you have enough crews, because you're dealing with San Bernardino, you're dealing with Barstow, so there's a lot you're dealing with. So you want to be okay with that. So let's get off this and let's deal with the meat. So that's basically all I wanted to explain about the cycle. If you're still unsure as far as why the times are there, why Barstow has 2 crew members. The reason why we got 2 crew members is we want to make sure Barstow is the heart of the system. We want to make sure, and Barstow is in great shape. San Bernardino, it's also in great shape for the most part. San Bernardino is tricky because then you got people, you can't even bring trains in. We have to hold trains out on the main lines because the yard is so compact. Now in real life that wouldn't happen with an intermodal train necessarily, but we have to, because these trains only actually would take a minimum of a week perhaps to get through the system, but they'll arrive in a day, so they end up sitting on the main lines, and really that's all about getting it down when you don't have enough people running, and there's just no way, there's so many people to run 200 some odd trains in a 24-hour period. So that's what that's all about. Okay, let me just double check here. Okay, so we got a couple people on the California server right now. I'm going to go ahead and start here. So I'm just taking off the agenda here. We've already started. So I've explained what the cycle is all about. Now we want to go in and backing up our downloads that have not yet run to ensuring the expiry date is set. What I'm going to use is this notepad for this as well. It doesn't have to be run as administrator. You're not saving this. You just want to have this in here. So this now goes on to more of the admin. In fact, it goes on to an owner. So really, this is for Mike. This is for anybody else who wants to run a server, or if there's more routes that come down the line. It's not going to apply to a huge audience, but figure you might be interested in seeing this anyways, how this is taken care of. So M. Rickbar was the train that had an issue. I ended up putting a crew change entry at Jastrow, even though it's a little bit further west of Jastrow. Jastrow is our top entry, because normally we don't have a crew change there. That's just what we call the last entry heading west is Jastrow. It's the Y, but it's a little further west than that. So what we want to do now is we want to ensure that the trains are backed up properly. So what I'm doing now is you just take a notepad, and I probably should have, let me go here. It doesn't matter about all that. It's going to go like crazy here, but that's okay. I want to see what's released. What's still released is important, because what that's doing is we want to know what trains are left. So that's I'm putting BAK there. So there's 2 trains in Bakersfield that are released but have not been run. So that bold's pretty good for actually having a cycle change up to, since we are at least 2 days over the last cycle, there were still 2 trains remaining. So that's a good sign. I've also seen some cancellations on other tabs I was looking at, like for example the Bakersfield main. 3 trains got canceled there, so we're good there. Mojave, this tab is going to be going. We got a bunch of standbys. Don't worry about it. We weren't running Mojave during the weekdays, but we are coming up to a Monday, so I will have to explain how that's going to change. This probably is going to be the last 2 weeks that I deal with some of this stuff, because it's all going to fall into Mike's hands, and then I'm just going to support him from there and hopefully be able to change things. So bars domain don't mean nothing. It doesn't matter about the standbys. What we're dealing with right now is we want to make sure anything that has a link, the Barstow matrix, that doesn't matter as well. West Colton, don't have to worry about that. So we're going into the actual spawning areas. And hopefully everything's right. I'm not going to go in and double checking, making sure everything's okay. Sometimes you want to make sure that that's done as well. So Cajon, we have got SBL Clo 1, QLAC, NYC 6. Okay. San Bernardino, that's a yard tab. We don't worry about that. Look at all the cancel trains from Daggett. So, you know, a lot of them, well, those are all going to Los Angeles, so that doesn't really mean much necessarily for new players. But that alone, just the first, no, I shouldn't say that. Combine the cancel trains plus the Bakersfield, you know, you're probably safe to actually slow down the cycle factor. At this point, anyways. Needles can be interesting. We got 3 trains departing. Is that right? July 17th. Yeah. Wow. Busy night on the server. So we got 3 trains departing out of there, and we got 3 other trains that are showing release. So you want to take this. I'll just put an enter. I'll just space that out a little bit. So, 3 trains coming from Needles. G-Bacon 9 and ZWSP Stowe 9. Okay, so we got our trains. We know that. Hopefully, Box will log in and not have to have me sign in. Well, I got my email again. I forgot about that part. I knew I should have put that. I don't like giving my email out. So I knew there was something. So between a personal conversation that myself and Mike were having on the sheets that briefly got displayed, and at least there's no passwords, or else I would have had to kill the live stream. But the rest, I'm not going to worry about bots or spammers or anything like that. But no, email addresses and stuff like that, no, you shouldn't see that. So anyways, yeah, I'm going into the custom trains download of the share. And you see this old cycle backup right here. So what you want to do, in fact, hopefully I don't have to log into another one. I may have to. Which really sucks. Oh, I don't want to do that. Actually, no. You know something? That's okay. Going into old cycle backup. What you see there, and there's not that many to worry about, and you don't have to worry about that many of them. So, let me just make sure everything's okay on the server. We're good. So a few things that we can do there. We're going to start with the Bakersfield, and what we're going to do is we're going to find these 7 trains and we're going to throw them into the backup directory. So I go to recent places. You want to go to your trains folder. Dang, I can't do that because I'm not. I've already generated on the server. Okay. Oh, that sucks. Okay, hang on a second here. I got a different way of doing it. So let me put that this way. There's always multiple ways of doing it, and this is probably the best way. So I'm gonna go that way for now. Let me go back out So I'm back into the main one here. It's not alphabetical, so hopefully I'm just going to have to wing it. But these are alphabetical. So BK1. I got to make sure. Hang on a second here. When I select it, write a quick note. No, that's not what I want to do. Move or copy. That might work. Okay. I'm pretty sure this will work. If it doesn't, then I'll have to figure out another way. So I'm gonna select the ones that I want to move. So that's G, Q, S, V, and Z. Q, R, S, T, U, V. Is that all of them? S, V. Yeah, we done the one grain train. So now we want to go to Q. The Q trains. And you can sort this anyway, but I prefer to sort it alphabetical. And there's probably more efficient ways of doing it, but that's the way. Okay, good. QLAC, New York City. I think that's the only Q train. Oh boy. Why did my... okay, that's fine. So G, Q... Now we got the S's and... 3 S's and a Z. S, Oi, Clo 1. SC, Clo. I gotta go back to page 9 at least. Okay, there's one. So that's that one. Then there's SL and SO. LBL Clo 1. It's fine there. And with the whole point of all this, the backup, is because you can't just all of a sudden, you can if you want to make it easier, but because there's trains that are still within that 7-day window, you want to be able to give them the opportunity to still be spawned, so that it doesn't just go cold turkey on you. So the releases will stay once the new cycle begins, and you just don't start off with a blank board, in other words. I think I hope I have them all. SL, SO, SC. Oh yeah, the V. V and then the Z. So we got V Rick Clo 1. I've selected that. And ZWSP Stowe 9. And it's that one. Okay, I think I have them all, hopefully. Now I gotta figure out how to move them. I don't want to delete them. Oh, move or copy. Perfect. So we just want them to go to here, and we want to copy, right? An item named already in old files. Skip files? Oh jeez. I gotta rename it. I'm gonna try skipping them for now. One item skipped. I don't like that. Oh, great. I'll deal with that in a minute. Let me just make sure. I gotta go back all the way to page 1. I didn't like that error message that came up, because it said that one of the ones are already there or something like that. So we go into old cycle backup. And there's ways of sorting this too, right? You can go into here, I think it is. Oh, I don't know if that's it or not. Wait, no. This one. View options. Sort by date. Changes the... I think that changes it. June the 5th. Let me click it again. Well... Oh, wait. I don't like how it did that. So updated July 17th is what you're looking for. I don't know why it did something. Oh my god, what the hell happened there? I didn't do that. At least I didn't think I did. I have no idea what that was. Oh, this sucks. There should be a bunch that are updated, or that hopefully they're going to be at the end. I don't see them. I don't like this. Jesus. Nothing's, simple. It's always got to be complicated. I did one skip, and you got to be kidding me. Okay, I think I know what happened. Dang it. I bet you I lost every one of the ones I was dealing with. It was so much easier when I used to be able to back it up. When I had the directory there. I don't want to download these things. And trying to do it in this stupid system that they got set up. I think I had to select deselect all. Like, are any of these still selected? Probably not. I don't even know where the hell they went. That is so annoying. Alright. Well, that sucks. And there's nothing I can do about it. So we're off to a bad start. Has this even been sorted, or is this sorted totally different way? But it looks like it is. Jesus Murphy. So I'm going to sort that back by name. What are we dealing with again? I got it. I'll tell you what. Just so I don't lose... No, forget it. Forget I said that. Let's just go back in here. That sucks that I have to actually go in. And this is the second time I think I've been running around with the whole thing. I'll be careful this time. LAC New York City 6. Yeah. QLAC New York City 6. I still got some of the old symbols on there. I don't even know if they're A-line or what they are. There's New York City 6 there. So S-O-I-C-O S-L-S-C. Oh, good. S-C Clo. There's S-Clo Oig 1. S-Clo Oig 1's that one. Oh, S-Clo Oig 1, SLBL Clo 1. One advantage of going to a longer cycle is you don't have to worry about this so much. And the other thing you won't have to worry about is once our AI comes, you don't have to worry about any of this box crap. Because then what'll happen, presumably, is everything will be handled by the AI system, I think. We hope. We don't know for sure, but we're pretty certain of it. So now I gotta go VRIC, CLO1, and Z. The Z train. ZWSP Stow 9. ZWSP Stow 9. Alright, I'm going to be very careful this time. Type a folder name to search. So move. Why is it doing all of them? That's not what I wanted. Because I should have selections. It should be move selected. You mean to tell me it didn't? All right, fine. There should be a move selected. I don't want to select deselect all. I want to move the selected. I don't want to do this crap either. Hang on a second. This thing's ridiculous. So now I see it. What it was doing was it was trying to move one file and I hit skip, so it didn't do any of them. You gotta be kidding me. I gotta do one at a time? Alright. Then I gotta deal with, it should be a replace. I'll put it to here. I'll hit copy. An item name already exists in old cycle backup. No, I want to replace. There should be a replace. Forget this one crap. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, man. Is this thing so stupid or what? I know it exists. I want to... Oh. I don't want to go around playing around with the freaking links again. Dang it. Of course, I've already overridden everything before this all happened. Had I known this stupid thing would be like this, I wouldn't have bothered. And it's only for oh, man. What a joke. Okay. It's got to be stupid, so, you know. I wish I could download it or just put it onto, I probably can't. I don't want to download all these. Oh, maybe I'll have to. Will it let me download all 7? What's the point? What is the point? Is anything still selected, or did I just lose them all again? Oh my god. Okay, what's these things here? Is that the stupid thing right there? Oh my god. Okay, fine. You know what? This is ridiculous. I have got to download each and every one of these stupid files because this thing is ridiculous. So here's the thing, and here's the lesson to learn from it. Do this before you run the RTS. Do this first. What we did the other night is we ran the whole RTS thing. I didn't think it was going to be a problem. I figured this thing was smart enough to actually be able to back up properly and actually replace files, but it's stupid. It's got a nice fancy design and all that other crap, but it's stupid. So, you know, whatever. Let's do this one more time. I can't believe we're wasting time on freaking backups that probably will never get used, to be quite honest, but man, it's a lot of... Alright. I cannot believe this, so thanks for hanging in. I can't help this is stupid. GBacon9, yeah, want to make sure I get the right one. I can't believe, like, what's the point of doing this? Okay, so it's showing up in my downloads, which is no big deal. I don't mind downloading. It's just ridiculous you have to download. Oops. Okay, so we're going back. This is the last time we're doing this, trust me. So now we're going back to QLAC, New York City 6. And I'll show you why this is the last time. It is so easy to update these files from a directory. You don't have to go through this stupid hassle. And we started, I think it was last cycle, I added in the automation for the backup. What I used to do was I forget where I had the files somewhere. But I had them somewhere, and it was a manual pain in the you know what, but this unfortunately is not as smooth as I thought it was going to be. Okay, so let me download this one. Lock New York City 6, I think that's right. Yep. Okay, so now I want to go back to the Clo OIG 1. I don't know why you gotta bother. That just defies me. It just defies total logic. Unless I'm missing something, but you know, it's too freaking fancy for its own good. There should be an option in there to replace. Even if it gives you a warning afterwards, like, you know, give me a break. I'm trying to do a tutorial, and unfortunately some of this is still new because I'm always automating and I'm always trying to improve things. And there's still stuff that I have to do, but see, they're all coming down here now, so that's fine, I guess. SLBL Clo 1,
BNSF detector.
Oh my god, I gotta get out of there.
72.9 main 2 ambient
This happened the other night.
6 degrees.
I get thrown somewhere, and then, or there'll be a train somewhere where I don't. Let me see here. Yeah, let me go hide in needles. I just want to be on the server in case there's any issues. Hey Mike, the feed's okay, I take it. I just noticed you're running trains. As long as everything's okay on this end, you're alright. Just let me know if there's an issue. Yeah, I should be okay there. I don't think I'll get no problems. Awesome. Okay. So I'll try not to drag it out too much further. Just want to make sure I got the right ones. SL. I still need some more. SOIG close. I think the next one. Yep. I think there's only one. Yep. Okay, we're down to the Z now? No, we did the Z already. Okay, which one am I missing here? I gotta see. OIG, SBL, CLO. That's OIG, I think it's a V. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, because we already did the Z. V, Rick, CLO 1. And this would have taken me as long this time around until you learn, you know, how crappy some programs are compared to others. So, we got all 7. So here's what happens. I'm going into my downloads directory. Nah, I don't want that. What is that? Jeez. I'm going down to my downloads directory. Good. We got the XML files, none of the info files or the other garbage. I wonder if this is smart enough to go back to page 1 if I keep on going. No, of course not. Why would I think that? So, you gotta click buy. No option to go to the first page, just you gotta... It's not too bad. So, click on the old cycle backup. Then you go into your Explorer file. This is how you're going to be actually taking the files over. And I'm like, why is that grade? That's weird. That threw me for a loop for a second. So anyways. Oh, it was because that was the last thing I touched, I guess. Never mind. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to take a look at Notepad one more time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 trains. You hold the control button down. That way you can select all of them. And then as you have the control button down, hold your left mouse button down. And you can see it says 7. You want it right there. Notice it's saying version 2. See how it's coming up and saying version 2. Okay, your backups are now in place. So what you want to do from here, okay, is you want to go back into those directories. And because you already have paths open for them, you're already set actually. You're already on 46. Let me double check here or think what I'm doing. So you've already got it set on the 46. Sometimes this takes a it's kind of weird. You got to take it all off. Don't worry about that. We got the backup for now. I might skip a step. So clearing out old entries not needed. The highest being the latest. So what we'll do is we'll clear out the old entries. We'll deal with that right now. It's a real quick... What'll happen is you don't want to download everything just yet. Because once you change the cycle... you can actually... You might be able to do it. Hang on a second here. Let me think about that one for a second. Okay. What you might be able to do... I just want to make sure we got the right cycle number. Okay, yeah, we're okay. What you might be able to do here... See all these other numbers that are sitting around? You can now put those to 47. Okay? But you don't want... This number here, you want to keep that as 46 because that's what it is. So you keep 46. 47 is going to be the new cycle. Okay? So you want these all to you want all the new ones to be pointing to the latest, and that's what that does. So you've got 2 release there. I think what we have, Cajon sub. We can do this in one shot. That doesn't matter. Cajon sub, because we've done a copy, so it doesn't really matter what the data is at the point. But you want to make sure that those stay 46. I hope I did that right. Let me double check. Better to be safe than sorry. Yeah. You change everything else to the latest. As long as it's not coming up. And the reason why the other night when we generated early is because it would have been a lot more confusing to do it beforehand than now. So you change everything else to 47 except the ones that say released. And some of them don't show up because they're not the same day and all that other stuff. That's okay. You don't want to change the day just yet, the day of the week. You want to keep the day of the week the same for now until you move everything over. So that's okay. It's always going to be at the bottom. And the cycle factor, I'm not going to worry about that just yet either. Daggett is all canceled. Needles, again, we already got 1 train departing. So that's part of 47. That stays 46. That goes 47. The rest go 47 except the 2 on the bottom. And that's good. So we've got them all set now. When you go into the cycle count here, or the cycle, all we're doing right now, we're not changing anything else except the cycle number. Okay? So what that does is that puts it into cycle 47. Okay? So we're okay there. Now we're still dealing with box for the moment. Because what we just did is we changed the pointer of the cycle to point to the backup. There's a formula in here that does that. I'll show you that real quickly. That ain't it. Sorry. Undo that. Actually, redo. You're looking up into the links tab is what you're doing in those cases. So the links tab, if you ever have to add another link, you're going to have to put it in here. Blah, 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 blah. Links. And there you see, there's the backup. So anything that has that number, it's pointing to your regular link, which is different from your backup link. Right now they're all the same file, but that's going to change in a moment. So what we're doing now is we're going to go ahead and transfer all that data that I have on my hard drive, which we ran for the RTS. You would do the same thing wherever you're running it from. So if you can do it from your client computer, I used to do it from my client computer all the time. That's not a problem. You want to go now, first make sure you're in the right directory, because right now we're still in the site. You want to go back to custom trains download, because right now you're in old cycle backup. You want to go back to custom trains download, and you want to go 1 route at a time. You can delete that out of your downloads, I think. Move the 7 items to recycle bin, yeah. That's fine. So now you've got the center of the pointer. It's going to be going to the old backup for those files. Eventually, once you clear out the registry, remember how there was a point in the registry where you get back around and then all of a sudden you got the old data that's still in there. Then you have to clear out the old overlapping data, but we'll deal with that in a minute. You go to recent places or whatever, trains. I'd go right to roots actually. And then I work my way. There is a Barstow. So you want to go into the Barstow Yermo. Trains. Click this to date modified. You might have to click it twice just to see. Change the type over here. You just want to deal with the XML files. Okay? And again, you're looking at the July 14th, which is when we generated the cycle. Don't worry about that temp one. That's the end right there. That August 22nd, 2015 temp. Those are the latest files right there. They all happen at around 9:24 p.m. on the 14th. So again, hold down Control, then hold down the mouse button, let go of Control, bring it over. This time it's 9 files, which is fine. It's downloading, that's fine, that's okay, it'll continue to do that. Now you want to change your route over to the Mojave sub. Trains, date modified, click it a couple times. Again, you want to filter out only the XML files. That's my crap there. If you have any other stuff like that where you're trying to fix something, just delete it. Which I did. So that's been deleted. Again, you're dealing with July 14th of 9:24 p.m. Holding down the shift until you get to the last one. The 718 is the Amtrak train. Of course, you don't have to copy it, but there is a link on the box. Hold Control, then hold the mouse button down, move it all in. There's 29 files that are downloading. Back to roots. Work your way down. Mohawk, Selkirk, you don't have to worry about. And then you're going to deal with Cajon sub. Trains. Click date modified. Make sure you got the latest there. You want the XML. Once again. July 14th, 9:24 p.m. Up to that last one. Hold down Control. Hold down left mouse button, let go of Control. That's starting to go. Another 40 files. Finally, you want to go to the needle sub. Again, you're finding the trains directory. Type in XML. Click on date modified a few times till you get the right, what do you want, July 14th. You're at the top. Make sure you're at the top or bottom or wherever you want to run it from. Up to the last 924, you don't want that GBKN1 thing from March the 10th. I don't know what that is actually. Hold down Control, hold down left mouse button, and that's okay, it's still doing it because you can add the other items. So it's uploading the other items, and don't close it up, just let it finish. And that is how, and you can see the version numbers are changing as it's going through. Some of them are the second versions. Hopefully I'm in the right folder. Yeah, I'm in the custom trains download. Yeah, so you got version 48. It's kind of scared me when it says uploaded today by you. That's a bunch of garbage. Because see, it's going into the different version numbers. I didn't upload anything today, as far as I know. Now it's going to the right versions. I think that just does that when it's setting it up. So 42 items have been uploaded. Everything is fine. The reason why the version numbers change is some of them are newer trains that we've added, like the North Beta WSBs. But you can see the updated today. So that's all good. You're fine now. You can get out of box. You're done with the uploading. So let's deal with this again. The agenda, clearing out old entries. We haven't done that. Uploading all the latest trains. We actually did that first. So sometimes I have to remind myself the order, but this is pretty much how it should be done. We already changed the cycle number. We didn't change the factor. Changing the cycle factor. Never mind, so that the old entries point elsewhere. I'm not too sure about that, adjusting other entries that have expired. What the heck am I talking? Old entries elsewhere. Let's just call it change the cycle factor, because I don't even know what I was talking about there. So we're almost there. Backing up downloads that have not yet run, ensuring expiry date is set. The whole thing about the expiry date on those, I'll take you into that for a minute before we get too crazy here. What's going to happen is, because that's the current date, what you want to do in this case, we're going to a 48-day cycle from 40. So in that case, what we're looking at, actually that doesn't matter. Sorry. Forget I said that. What you're doing here, in the case of what I would recommend, the best place to do this is right here. And you want to insert a comment, because what's going to happen is good until July 23rd, 2 a.m. What you're doing about that is ensuring, and then you resolve it afterwards. This is a reminder for you, or any admin for that matter, that can do this. Good until July 26th. See what I mean? We're at July 17th. So this is why the backups are in place. The problem is most people don't come down here to look for them. They always look at the top. And what's going to happen is, very shortly, this is going to clear up tremendously. And you're going to see a blank area, and then you're going to start seeing stuff at the top. People don't come down here. They think everything's in a certain area, and this will boggle up quite a bit, but they'll never really take a look down below to see what's happening that may still be there. What you can do in that case is you can remind them, you can post a message, whatever you feel like doing in that case to try to promote that trains are still available, especially for new people. Good until July 20th at 7:20. I'm just going to make sure everything's okay on the server here. Yeah, we're good. Okay, as far as I know, we're good. July 23rd, 8:40. July 23rd, 8:40. Good, oops. Good until July 23rd. And you can see this would be a major pain in you-know-what when the cycle factors actually go a lot lower due to AI. It's going... you're going to have to run... We'll have to figure it out as it goes along. I'll be there, of course, because, Daggett, you don't have to worry about that. That's all canceled stuff. So in this case, that's good until 10:40 this evening. So it's already red. That's the other thing too. It starts showing up red if it's on the same day. So good until Sunday night, 22:40. So really, I mean, if somebody wants it, it's there. If not, it's gone. Finally, put a good until. Actually, we got one more after this. July 21st, 13:20. Now the Barstow matrix, that's got formulas already set up in particular ones that we know for sure won't be released until next cycle. That some of the ones are at the bottom. So that's all there. Okay. So back to the agenda here. Backing up downloads that are not yet run, ensuring date is set. We've done all that. Might want to just keep that as a post, or possibly as a post. 946. We're doing good. We're almost there, actually. Believe it or not. We're now going into the clearing out old entries not needed. Highlighting the latest. Okay. What I would do in this case is I would go ahead and I'm going to enable external dispatcher here. I'm so used to the old server. When I used to have the server, I didn't have to worry about it because external dispatcher was enabled on my server end. But when you're a client and you want to use external dispatcher, actually there's a few things. If you haven't figured it out already, you can run external dispatcher from your client, and I used to run it all the time. I'll show you that in a moment here. So allow external dispatcher. For me, I have to do it. In order to see external dispatcher, I actually have to go ahead and do that. But I'll show you external dispatcher for a minute. Of course, this is only for California because that's all there is out there. I believe A-Line has something for whatever that other program was that hasn't been updated in 2 years or whatever. Selkirk, Mohawk, there's nothing. So, one of the best ways to update, for me personally, and to ensure everything is okay, is to go into the latest of the external dispatcher. Oops, I'm going Shift F1. See, you can do this, and that links to my local. So if you link to your local through your router, you will be able to... dang it. I'm so used to hitting F1, and that brings up a chat window. You will be able to link from your client to your server. You will be able to read the external dispatcher anytime. And what's so critical about external dispatcher, especially as a now I'm getting the chats here, right? I didn't get those before. This is what's so critical about external dispatcher, and oh my goodness, I don't even know where it is anymore. I forget where it is. I used to have it. I cleared out my cookies or whatever the heck it was. Let me go and run a train simulator. All my lovely... Oh, there it is. Is this the one? Yeah. So, you know, you can go in there. Basically, anybody who's on a server, if you're running on a, you know, if you're saying crap about somebody, or you're complaining, or, you know, quote unquote bitching or whining, I used to go in. There was a time where I'd go in, and this is where I would learn how people were bitching and complaining and whining about, oh, well, this is so confusing, and this is so this and that, and blah blah blah, but they wouldn't post a damn message or you know, I send them an email message. I send everybody, well, not necessarily me, but myself or an admin would send an email message welcoming you to RTS, giving you the password. You have the ability to send a private message to the person that gave you the password on the invite. So there's no excuse for that. But you know, I didn't have time to go in. I haven't checked, like, you can tell which log files I have checked and which ones I haven't. See, there's some of them I do go into. You can tell which ones I don't because it still says the word log. And what external dispatcher will do is if you run it 24/7, not on your server, you can run it on your server if you want. But what it will do is amazing stuff like this. Since I opened it up, you can see Hawk grabbed train. This person or Ezra grabbed one train, and Anya grabbed that train. Shows you the engine numbers, the train symbols, and everything, and it will show you all the radio communications on all channels. There's nothing private on the server. When you're hosting, you get to see everything. And this is also where you start troubleshooting when things start going goofy. I mean, yeah, you got the train sim logs, but that is one of the best tools out there. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's available for A-Line, and that's why I'm being very careful as far as when I do Selkirk Mohawk, if and when I do that, because I don't know what logs I have and what tools I have to watch. So I'm going to be a lot stricter who I invite. Just because, and it's nothing to do with newbies or people or whatever. It's just I'll have fewer resources available to monitor the crap. You know, that's all there is to it. So I wanted to show you that about external dispatcher. So what else was I doing in here? Okay, yeah. So I am in an external dispatcher now. The beautiful thing about this, now you got to be careful. You can't just rely on external dispatcher. I'll say that much, because what you also have to consider is what's happening in Barstow or West Colton, because you don't want to lose the fact that there is an arrival available. But what that does, just to show you, you can go into the form responses right here. Okay, go into your external dispatcher, and that's really too low for me to see anything, but QSTO ATG 1 is Barstow Inspection 3. Okay, so QSTO ATG 1, and I'll go back to the 6 one. And that's in an inspection yard. So what I usually do is I'll highlight that red. You can highlight a red, green, whatever color you want. In fact, I'll do it green for now, just to distinguish it as an external dispatcher find. ZWSP SBD9. I didn't want to highlight it. ZWSP SBD9. WSP, Control F to find too. WSP SBD9. It's a crew change and summit siding is the last one I think I have on there. Let me double check on that. Yeah. Alright, so crew change and summit siding, ZWSP SBD9. Alright. So once again, you're confirming that. And that's wrong. Or no, it isn't. That's right. That's right. I'm sorry. Martinez siding. So Martinez siding, summit siding, I think it's the same thing. Yeah, that's right here. So you're good with that. Inspection yard, you would be able to see, I think. There we go. So that's what you can do too, is as you're going through it, if you haven't opened it up already, you can put notes in these things and all kinds of things for your stuff. So there's no problems there. Where's I going through here? Yeah. Go back to your trains list. MFres bar 4 is in Barstow receiving 4. MFres bar 4. is indeed in Barstow receiving 4. Lost my highlight there for a second. And there might be more efficient ways of doing this. This is how I'm doing it right now. Just as a double check, and you can do this at any time, really. Just to, if you want to continue to clean housekeep, you can do this. M Barstow 1 is in south of cable crossover main 1. M Barstow 1. Yeah, that's good. Oh, I should have moved it. Okay. Rick Bar 1, which is over here. That's the one I spawned earlier. So that should be okay. Rick Bar 1 west of BNSF Bakersfield. It actually showed up that far. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it showed up in an external dispatcher. Wow. Okay. Maybe somebody moved it too. If somebody moved it, that's probably a good thing, because it won't show up on some of the newer dispatch displays, because external dispatcher hasn't been updated in forever. Okay, I see what. I don't know what that color that is. That just got deleted. Oh, Mike deleted it. Okay. Okay. So that's that one. What the heck did I do there? Okay. GTMR SWA 9 is, I believe that's Cameron. Well, it's right there. See, now you're looking at stuff that's down at the bottom. He's in the middle of departing. He still has control, but he's stopped, so maybe he stepped away for a moment or whatever, so that's fine. He's still under full control. The train's there, blah, blah, blah. Probably, like you said, just stepped away. You'll see some trains that'll just stop here. I've said it. Crossing from main 1 to Siberia. Oh, okay, that's that train there. So, stopping, just I'll say this too, and I'm probably preaching to the choir on this one, but stopping here on this such a long stretch is kind of a waste. Of course, you want to get up there, but you know, pretty soon it's going to be irrelevant anyways once AI starts, so I'm not worried about it. Like, something here is not so bad. In theory, you'd want to be up there so the trains can come around you. He stopped here, main line. That's blocking stuff on the main line where I put it, but we had to fix it, so I had to spawn it. Another thing you can do too is if there's an essential train that hasn't been spawned, you can always spawn them and just plop them in there without having to worry about the backup thing. But you don't want to do that to non-essentials. If they go, they go. So, let me go this way here. Okay. West of Piscataway, LBA LPC 2. That just got relinquished. QLBA LPC 2. QLBA LPC 2. That's Ezra there. Alright. We're almost through this part here, so this is going to get really interesting. Train that's running is Q Chai Oig 1, which is that one. And now what you want to do, well, first I'll highlight that one. And at this point you don't even have to search at the moment because you've got them all. Okay. So Q Chai Oig 1, that's the last entry. And anything else after that, whether it be departing, deleted, crew change. So now what you want to do, I like to work from the bottom up, just to see what I'm dealing with. So what I'm doing now is I'm going through and seeing what I got. This one here. Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't click on that one, so that's good. So everything looks good. The external dispatcher, all the trains are properly lined, so that's a good sign. So, toolbar's been deleted. The problem with starting from the bottom is then you get into you get into clearing up a bunch of crap at the bottom, so it can really look like a mess. If somebody's in right now and they see a train and all of a sudden it pops up or it says a crew change or something like that, it can really make it into a mess. But that's your call. How you want to do it, you know, you can work from the top bottom, but in order to work from the top to the bottom, what you then have to do is take a look very carefully at what you got. So crew changes, we've already set that up. Everything else here is fine. Canceled's fine. So that's okay. Bakersfield, everything else is there. Trains that have humped, yeah, you might want to consider those. Actually, you want to consider all of those right there. Trains that are humped, I don't know if I'm just trying to think now. If it's humped, it's not a big deal because we're going to get rid of them all anyway, so it's just going to become an empty entry. So no, we don't have to worry about that. So if it's humped, that's fine. Arriving is a different story. If it hasn't been processed, then you need to find it. So MBKWC, you got to go back over to the form responses, and you need to find it. You need to go down to the last one, that it's arrived on UP West Colton, because we're assuming that's where it is. I'm not going in to check every yard or anything like that. I'm going to assume everything else is okay. Whoops. So now I go back into there. We've done blah blah blah. Where were we at? Okay, we did that. Oh yeah, that's where we were at. Mojave, Maine. Don't have to worry about that. They're gonna all go. Barstow, Maine. Okay. That's an interesting one. Oh boy. Here's how this is an automated standby. There's a way to put in a non-automated standby. And I'll show you that. You want the standby to go, because what happens is as soon as you put in a new cycle, they're going to disappear. You don't want that. So H bar vi. I was going to say you could put in a oh, what do you call it? Ah, shoot. You could put in a build, but that's not what you want. So in this case, what you want is You go right into the system. Yeah, I mean, you could type it in, but it's better. I would rather, just in case you want to make sure you have everything. But you go down here and you put it right into standby. Oh boy. Barstow, yeah. I guess. Barstow, you're more root, yes. That doesn't really matter here. Dang it. Vancouver would be the north departure yard, I guess. Really, actually, shoot. Okay. Forget the location in the track. They're not required fields. So don't even worry about putting a location in a track. So just submit. And then we want M-bar West Colton 1. Submit another response. Just click S for standby. Just make sure you're clicking Barstow root. Forget the rest. And now bar BAR TPL1 Temple, I think. I gotta make sure I spelled it right. H bar TPL1. And there's a comment in there. That's more of a research and development comment on it, I think. Okay. So you've dealt with those standbys. Go back over to your form responses, and they should be in now. Oh, they're not. 2 of them are in. It hasn't loaded the other one. Let me just refresh this. I don't know why it didn't. It should have. I think it's a little slow. Okay, now we know it's loading at least. You can use the mouse wheel. I usually like the whole page down better. What the heck? Bar West Colton 1. What did I do? Oh, I didn't submit it. I was going to say, usually pretty quick. There it is. Losing my mind. Okay. So yeah, now we go back. Barstow main. Holy crap. Okay, so everything else is okay. Deleted doesn't matter. Barstow matrix, it does matter. To some extent. That's okay, that's going to come in. So now, what's Barvod? It's got, do we already have that in Arrival Yard? I think we do. This is the tricky one sometimes. Usually I find it, nah. Oh yeah, okay, that was just the one that I put in the standby right away. I'm not, that's Barva, you goof. Let me go back to the Bakersfield one. That'll tell me for sure. Oh, okay, I didn't do all these Arrival Yard ones. Oops. Okay. We gotta deal with those. I forgot that. I'd rather deal with it from the tabs. When it goes arriving, sometimes it'll go up as a cyan. So arriving in BNSF Bakersfield is not a big deal. We're not too worried about that. What we are concerned about is if something's sitting in an arrival yard, we want to make sure everything's okay. So what you can do is go back to your notepad again, just to make clearing out old entries. Makes it a lot easier just to go through this way and type them in. So back bar 3, instead of going back and forth, pass bar 1, M stow bar 1, M back bar 1, and H va bar 1. Okay. I think that's all for that one. Oh, no, M fres bar 4, which I think we're okay with anyways. One of them is already showing up. What happens is when you take away the engines, it no longer shows up in external dispatcher. Not a real big deal. We already did that one, but we didn't do that. We deleted in UPS West Colton. Okay, that's okay. We did do that one, though. I remember doing that one. So, forget that. Forget the matrix. Because that's going to deal with pretty much everything, except what's coming from Slayton, Texas, and Cajon subs. So let's just keep going. West Colton side, again, yeah, you're dealing with Cajon. We've already dealt with that one. The only other one is that. So let's keep going. So, standby too long, I don't know. I don't care. At this point, forget it. That was a regular instruction. I don't know what happened. I think the train was just too freaking long, and it was kind of unusual. Complete doesn't matter. Cancelled are fine. Standbys deleted. Anything that's humped, it doesn't matter. I don't know what this complete is at UP Bakersfield. Oh, that's at Bakersfield. Okay, never mind. Stuff that's in standby. Well, we're in a whole ball of you know what with that. Hold on. Okay, we got. Why is did we deal with West Colton Bar? I think we did, but maybe we didn't. I thought we did deal with those. I guess we didn't. I'm just trying to figure out why is that in standby? That shouldn't even be a manual. That should just show up. Or should it? No, it's from West Colton. Never mind, I'm like, why is that in standby? KGLB. Oh, that was the too long one. Okay. So, complete. Okay, we're not worried about that. Cancel, deleted. That's okay. Standby. So, we want to put... In this case, we want to put a MWCL bar 1 into... I'm just typing the word standby in there because we have to force a standby. That's the problem with these manual entries. If you have the manual entries in there and nothing's happening, we gotta end up forcing a standby, or else when you change things over, like West Colton, that has to go into standby. These are the same ones that we had to do in other locations, for Barstow. You got to do the same thing. Work deleted. That's okay. Wow, there's a lot coming out. Yeah, I find it kind of funny that people are worried about running. I don't know. Should I bitch and complain? I don't know. Because I complain about other people. I guess that's hypocritical if I complain about other people bitching and complaining, but I just find it kind of weird that you got all these trains in a non-timed area that are in standby, and they aren't going anywhere. So it's not like there isn't trains that can be built. They're there. BLAC Danby standby. I'm not. That's okay. I don't know why that one's in standby. Oh, because it went into a manual. That's okay. Don't worry about that. I think. I don't have the proper day of the week here. So at this point, just let it go. I got to get the proper day of the week. I don't know why I don't have the certain days of the week in some of these trains, but I don't. So let it go. I got to have the day of the week. Hang on a second. No, see, I got it I got it set for every damn day for some stupid reason, and that's not true. That's only supposed to happen in one day of the week. I don't even know what color to point out, but that has to be dealt with. I'm just putting this comment in here. I need to update for a particular day of the week. I have the data on this one. I don't know why it wasn't. There's a particular day that train runs. It just never got updated, but it's beyond the scope right now. I'm not going to worry about it. That standby is going to cancel itself. I don't even know why I have a backup on that one, to be quite honest, because that's a daily. It's not a daily. That's going to Danby, the siding. It's only once a week. Train that's in San Bernardino A yard, I don't think that's an issue. At least it shouldn't be. So we'll leave that alone. Watt bars 1 goes into siding, or goes into arrival yard, so that's fine. So I'm just going to type in M Watt bar 1. We've already dealt with the released ones. There's the other one for West Colton. I knew there was another one. We're almost there. Almost at the end, believe it or not. I know it doesn't seem that way, but we're close. So I'm not even going to touch San Bernardino. There's nothing there. It can be dealt with or figured out. It should be able to. If there's proper notes and stuff in the form, if there isn't, well, you know, that's where communication's needed. But it's in there. I've seen enough information in there. Again, we're not worried about what's working. That train's been sitting there since June the 8th. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second. No, that's not right. It's the coal train. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I thought for a minute there was a train waiting to be humped, but it's the coal train, so don't worry about that. Everything else there is okay. Stuff that's been humped, we're not worried about. Finally, we're on to the needle sub. Deleted, work deleted. Stuff that already arrived, and again, here's another one. Dang it. Okay, it's the Danby one we have to deal with. Undo that. I don't know what the deal is with that. There might be something going on, but deleted, work humped, deleted, arriving at San Bernardino Yard, essentials, June 27th, June 3rd, I think we're fine. Nothing to worry about. Deleted, Jastro cancelled, arriving, worked, arriving, deleted. We already got this train into the mix right now, the Q-Chi-Oig one. Anything that goes below where you're working on right now, you don't have to worry about. That train got automatically canceled, so that's gone. We already dealt with that. We've already dealt with trains that are departing or in the process of moving. The same with the crew change. H slab R9 we have to put. Of course, that's an arriving, so we're just looking for the last entry. The ones that are say standby that I've written on them, you're not going to find entries for those. You gotta force them into standby. See this one, this bare table for ASC SCO5. That's on a Saturday only. I don't know why. Ah, crap! What the heck did I do? Undo this. I don't know what I did there. That was weird. I hope. Let me just do a redo for a second. Yeah, okay, something happened there. That was goofy. I wanted to make sure that I didn't undo something that I was already trying to change. Yeah, I don't know what the heck that's all about. Whatever. I think that's it. Okay. Perfect. So, what you want to do from here... before we do that, let's enter in those last entries. Submit another response. We're going in for our final standbys. M. West Colton Bar 1. Blah. Where are we at? Okay, we're on Cajon now. Right? Yeah. MWCNP. Wow. Lots of stuff available. I guess people don't like West Colton so much. I just find that funny. So I don't touch. I honestly I haven't touched West Colton. I just don't care. I just try to keep everything as nice as I can for them. But that's just, you know, go ahead and do what you want. I don't care. Oh, submit that. Submit another response. MWCSC. And trust me, we are very close to being done. I know this is a long process and it might take a while, or it's good to have the notes and then the flow, because I always stumble around too, trying to find a different pattern. WCSC is in standby. Submit that. WCYS2 is in standby. Shoot. SY2? Oh, there it is. Okay, I want to make sure I got the right one. Yeah. Is in standby. And that is the last of that, I believe. And I'll make sure I submit it this time. So we got 4 there. You can check the spelling, make sure everything is according to what you have. And from there, delete the standbys off of there. Go ahead and highlight those green. Really, the color doesn't matter. Wait a minute. Let me just do a redo for a second. Do I have an undo and a redo? Oh, okay, whatever. I hope I did that right. Dang it. I don't like it how there was a line all of a sudden. Don't I have a redo? Oh, I have an undo. Oh, okay, that works. So I hit delete. Ooh. Let me do undo one more time. Okay. I just found it a little weird that there was all of a sudden there was a space there, and I don't know how the heck I did that. Okay, good enough. Those were 4 standbys, the latest. Alright, good enough. So, now all you're doing is you're going in and back bar 3, you're going one by one to the latest. You always want the latest. So if you're at 1 to 7, I push up, that way you get back down to 7. So there's your arrival yard. Green. HPAS bar 1. Again, you're at 1 for 6, you want to go to 6. That's your arrival yard right there. Green. MSTO bar 1. There's your arrival yard there. M back bar 1. Arrival yard. I see another one up there, but see, the problem is you can't assume, because you never know if there's a hump after it or what. M va bar 1 or H va bar 1. I always get that one confused. H va bar 1. I think that's it. I see the other colors in there. I'm not too sure what the other colors are for. July 14th. I'll assume it's okay. Yeah, it got changed. Alright. Because I did see the other... Oh, M Fres bar 4. I think, Mike, you were doing something. Fres bar 4, we already got a green on it? Okay. M watt bar 1. Way up there. Oh shoot, I gotta be careful of that. I want to make sure it's the same column or else you might miss it. MYSWC1. YSWC1. It's right there in West Colton arriving. Why? Oh, wait. Yeah. There's 2 of them there. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty short trip for that one. And H slab bar 9 finally. That's the arrival yard there. So now I'm going to deal with this one real quick. Start from the top. So you go all the way down to here and you just hold down the left mouse button and start scrolling all the way down. Then we'll see what the stalest thing is on the system. So back bar 3 got into arrival yard. Oh, that's because there was a delay. That doesn't necessarily mean it's stale. It means because there was the delay. So delete all those rows. You got to go back up. It's going to calculate it for a minute. And go here. You can do it while it's still working. Up to there. Delete all those rows. Again. And it's always in the form responses. Never do it in the sorted. Yeah, there was the one that was on the arrival for over there. So delete the rows there. I'll put it here, just so we know. Delete all those rows there. those. Delete those. Wow, it's 10:30. Don't worry, we'll be done by 11. I'll wipe out that one here. Delete that one. Now, as you can see, we're starting to get into the more recent entries that have basically expired. And if you miss something, you know, stuff happens. It's not a big deal. Or I miss something. It'll get caught eventually, hopefully. We had the one train that was sitting in Barstow. We didn't know what it was, and then we finally figured out what it was. So that must have been missed on my part. That one is yours. I'm gonna get rid of it now. I'm not too sure if you need that. I know I'll leave those highlights on for that. So with all that, what you've done, you haven't changed the cycle yet, because we're still on to this. But watch it. Here it comes. Oh, we released everything. That was my fault. I better do that real quick before somebody downloads something. I've done this before. You actually had to change the cycle start date. So we'll put that to July 17th. So if somebody downloaded and spawned something, then hopefully they didn't, but you might want to keep an eye on it in the next little bit. So what had happened there? A few things happened. Number one, we put that to July 17th. The cycle current day of the week you want to change as well. It's really taking a long time. You can see the bar there. So you want to change that. Sunday is a 1. You want to change that now to a Monday. I gotta check on that one for a second. Because I was just thinking of something. Let me just take a look at that. It's actually doing it right now. The slowdown factor, you want that now to a 48. It's still calculating. There it goes. See, now it's at 12:33 a.m. It's still calculating. We're already on to the new slowdown, or slowdown factor was a 48, I believe. Yeah, that's right. Almost got confused with the new cycle. I'm not changing the day just yet. Now, see, that's changed it to 30 minutes. That is just that's just a formula here. Getting close to fall. So after this, there'll probably only be one more. Well, who knows for sure, but as you can see, this is how it spreads out the cycles as you're going through. So, and going in to look at everything, you will see it is blank. With the exception of any of the crew changes or what's sitting around. And people will often not take a look and see that, okay, there's still some trains on there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trains in arrival yard. We already have a release. That's a daily. That's okay. What I'm concerned about yeah. Okay. I just realized something here. Because I changed the time, what I have to do is go in and manually release these. My God. We're almost there. So SOA Clo 1, I'm just going to put that as a release. It's a daily. And that's where the day doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and change the day. We want to that. What that does is it affects what gets scheduled. So we're now gone to a Monday. We're done with the cycle tab for now. So what do you want? What do we want to do? SOA CLO 1. Submit another response. So we're basically putting in. We are putting in 3 manual releases. And that's for Mojave Route, BNSF Bakersfield. It really doesn't matter. You can put it in the main. I don't even know if you need it. So it calls on this 46 right here. And this is why the good until. This was good until July 23rd. You want to know when this is because, and you can see this is a manual release. It didn't go to the purple thing. Oh, now it did. Okay. Forget I said that. So that is pointing to the proper link. See that EO app, it ends with a US 0. If you go to the links, I'll show you. SOA CLO 1, if I can find it. SOA CLO 1. Oh, it's right at the top. Or is it right there? Where the heck is it? Oh, it's down here. See how it's going to the backup link instead of the regular link? It's going to that one. Okay. So you know. And if you changed it, I'll just show you really quickly how this happens. If you were to change this all of a sudden, I'm just going to put 47 there for a second to demonstrate. It reads the cycle data. Let me close that up. Okay, it's calculating. That's a different, PCOI is a different one. With the letters PCOI at the end. Geez, Murphy, I don't want to. All I want to do is change it back. See, now it's back to EUS 0, right? There you go. So VRIC CLO 1. That's what that's all about. So VRIC CLO 1, we're at 1038. We're okay. I'm okay anyways. But I do want to get something to eat real quick. Because I really haven't ate much tonight. Mojave Route. Why am I calling it BNSF Bakersfield? It's actually Jastrow. I don't know why I did that. Oh well, whatever. We know what it means. Okay. So this becomes available right at midnight. It's a daily, so it doesn't matter. The arriving's still there for the Bakersfield West Colton. I'm surprised those are... Oh, okay, the standby just disappeared. I was like, what the heck? And all the dates changed, too. So that's not happening until August 22nd. So there's plenty of time to play around with that. 48 days is a long time. So it'll take you all the way into September. Barstow, Maine, you have your crew changes, you still have your standby, you have a new standby. So not only do you have the old, but you have the newest, the latest standby, which occurred July 17th at 12 o'clock. Barstow's this is a different thing, which is cool because we can deal with that later. I ain't gonna worry about it tonight. You don't want to change any of the downloaded data, blah blah blah. The dates on these, they are going to be linking to all kinds of crazy stuff. I think they're all available at this point. Some of them link, some of them don't, but you can see some of them are going up to August. I didn't think the yellows did that, but apparently they do. Some of them should, some of them shouldn't, but anyways. West Colton. Yeah, I got a couple trains in there. That's a little weird. It's looking at the Cajon sub tab, but July 17th and 22nd. It's got something to do. Oh, okay, that's why. Because it's got that minus. See the minus sign in there? It's pulling up an older data. That's why. So technically, that is also supposed to be a yellow. Yellow is ones I use that have a formula in there, so that you know, okay, it's you know, you're not supposed to hump that until the 27th. That one you could hump it as far as noon, but the one from Barstow not till the 22nd, 27th for that one. Cajon sub, we got the standbys in there. Of course, we got another release. That's a daily, but we wanted to change these ones right here to make sure that they're still available. SLBL Clo 1. And you have to do the manual releases because you're overriding the system. And I don't know a better way. If you can think of a better way, anybody for that matter, I'm all for it. Cajon route, it's going to change anyways. I mean, there's no deny. I don't even know if I have to put anything past the release. No, I don't. So submit that. QLAC NYC 6. Just checking the server for a minute. I think I did everything as far as those trains, hopefully. Okay. Yeah, the rest are 46s. Alright, this one didn't pop up. Did I screw that up? It's a daily. QLAC NYC. I didn't submit it, right? Yeah. Okay, now it releases. Alright, Daggett. Actual. Okay, so that's not going to show up till tomorrow till 4 p.m. So we're good there. Everything else was canceled if I recall correctly. S-Clo Oig 1. One of these was supposed to... Yeah, that's already gone. So you know something? I'm going to resolve that one, even though there's a backup for it. I'm going to change that to 47. So that takes care of that one. We don't have to worry about that. That's one less. These ones, on the other hand, are till July 21st. So we'll do these. G-Bacon 9. Released. And then we're going down to Needles. Wow, it's 10:44. Dang it. Did I submit that? Probably not. ZWSP Stone 9. Released, and then we'll go with Needles again, and I didn't submit. So that should, It's thinking. There it comes. I believe that puts us... there's a few other little nooks and crannies that we have to deal with, I think. It's actually it was quicker than I thought. Highest... Clearing out old entries not needed, highest, latest, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's up to you if you want to. We already changed the cycle factor, but we got to deal with that. What I will do is I'm going to leave that for a second. I'm just going to take care of a few things. We're pretty much done at this point, I think. So this train's just taking off here. I didn't want to do that. I can't do that while the simulator's going. So we got we got 2 trains on the road right here. I'm going to let this go for a few minutes. I just want to take care of a few things. This is getting a little bit late, but I do have some time tonight. And then I will go onto the server and chat with you. Make sure everything is hunky-dory, but just give me a few minutes and I'll take care of that. And let the external dispatcher entertain anybody else. Just be 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. Got a little bit of a snack. Dealt with a little business. So, while I talk with my mouth full, let's see here. I just want to see where we're at. I think we're okay now. So what happens now is the form responses. Oh, okay. I manually release those too. Didn't have to put BNSF Bakersfield, but you want to put these green. So what's happening there is at some point, if you recall the way the latter part of the cycle catches up with the other part, when you get to around August the 12th, you will have to go in and wipe out the remainder of the highlighted ones and any additional entries that relate to that one, so that it's no longer in the cycle. Once you're to a point too with Barstow and West Colton, where the arrival yards have been humped and you're getting prepared to start new ones, there's a whole procedure there where you just have to import the new waybill file. Now I have the waybill file, I haven't ran it anymore, so I will eventually upload it. The other thing I think we had to take care of is making sure the cycle factor has stayed the same for timing and all that other crap. So I'll show you where that is. First of all, let's go back to the cycle. Because we're not doing the brakes or any of that other garbage, I think we're okay. When we were doing brakes, any time you change the cycle factor, you had to change the formulas. I don't think we have to change the formulas, as far as I know, but I'm going to take a look anyways. And of course, once you get out of this and we go to a different system, it's all going to change again. So we've already changed. Everything here is pretty much ready. You can see the layout of the next 48 days, 0 through 47. It goes every half an hour, like it should. Links, we only dealt like 7 of them, but they're all in there as backups anyways, when or if you ever need them. Let me double check here. There's nothing else I got to double check on that point. We'll go right with the times now. So, you saw the time with Barstow looked a little goofy. The reason why there was so much negative time in there was because basically, how do I say this? Well, let's see here. I'll try to explain it. We've started, as you can see, that's today's date, and tomorrow's date goes into yellow. Yeah, we're good. It looks like this will work out fine. And then once that comes along, it says 9:30. I think that's right. Boron does its own crew thing. I forget if it's... Let me see here. Oh, I see. Okay. So there's your thing right there. So first of all, what you have to do with the time, because you've changed the factor, these here aren't linked to it. Anything cyan means you can change it, so you want to change those to 30 because they're 30-minute days. I couldn't think of a formula that could call up the actual 30. So that's what that's all about. As for here, trying to think how far back we were. Normally we'd hump tonight. I'll leave this as a judgment call on your side. Of course, you've lost all the time data. So what you can do is you can you don't want to get people humping anyways. At least I don't know if you want to yet. So what you can do is you can force it to stay by putting minus 120 in there, or you can put it maybe a little bit less to minus 90. So what's happening there is Monday, Tuesday. So by the time Wednesday comes around, all of a sudden you have this. What you can do, I know Barstow was in pretty good shape. I don't know how many minutes we had, but because you erased all that, you lose all the time data. The whole thing happens with San Bernardino too. I guess that's another step that you could do ahead of time, just to take note of how much time is available before you do the cycle change or all that deletion. Unfortunately, because I did all the time data of all the work that was done, all that time data got destroyed, which is okay because we're kind of starting off fresh anyways. So That's how you play. That's how you manipulate that. On this side, what you're looking at here, this changes depending upon what's going on. The cycle factor affects it. So what you want to do, that equal sign I $2, what that is, the dollar sign represents an anchor. It anchors to that. So generally the boron local takes 4 hours to get over. Let me get rid of that minus 180 there. There we go. You see how that pops it up? What this is an adjustment factor. You can control that and that. It does that one too. So what'll happen is it's doing 150 minutes right now. You want 180. So you got to give yourself an extra day of working. Generally, the boron local runs from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then is available to help switch with you. Of course, because the way the factors are, we've started way over here. So what you want to do is delete these 4 or 3. It becomes available in Barstow Yard to assist. Actually, does it start at 4? Because that's not right, because it has to leave it at 2. So I think it starts at 4 a.m. I could be wrong on that. 5, 6, 7. I forget how it goes. However you want to arrange it is fine. But let's say for sake of argument we go all the way to 11:30, which makes sense. Now you're at 240 minutes, which is your 4 hours. I think that's right. I'm not sure. Maybe it's 3 hours and 5. I'm not sure. 12, 6, 7, 8. Because the idea is the boron local power becomes the Cadiz local power. So that's why there's that transfer. So I guess that's okay. I'm thinking. Let's see, 10:58 p.m. So that's the Barstow time. I don't know what that is. No train currently to hump. I don't know what hump in progress. I think that is. Oh, okay. We were doing that before when we used to run. I have no idea what that is either. There is something, and I did a video on it, but it is. Well, you must know what's going on because you've updated it. I don't know. I don't know what that is. It's one of the tables where you copy all the data in and then it does something. I don't know. It's usable. You were probably using it. I have no idea, but it works. It counts all your cars or whatever for when you're trying to figure out the yards. San Bernardino time. That's another one. You don't have to worry about this. You want to put that to 30. Again, because you don't want anybody messing around. If you don't want anybody messing around in San Bernardino right now, although it's in pretty good shape, I would put that to maybe, I don't know, 60. There you go. And again, you can adjust that to whatever you want. And this adjustment as well works for if the crew has available time and he's got nothing to do, and that happens a lot with San Bernardino. So you just add the minutes to the minus 60. I think that might be it. I can't think of anything else. I think that's the only two we have set up for time at the moment. I will work with getting the Bakersfield into this system as well, if you want. If you don't think it's worth it, then we don't have to do it. I never got around to automating a lot of that. This thing is like totally blown out of the water. Other than saying that the tags were generated, one went off duty, it says under construction standby. Of course, we haven't gone that far yet. This is totally changed. So what would happen is we would just change. I would change the instructions, and I would calculate it. But there's no reason why you can't have a similar system for those. It'll work fine. Bakersfield Yard is the other one. Of course, that's set at time available today because it runs off the Bakersfield. I think it runs off the Bakersfield time. Did I actually? Yeah, I did. Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't. Oh, there is. Oh, I do still have those. I have them automated. I haven't even changed them. And oh, jeez. Yeah. See, I'm still on the old brake system, and I think for some of this, but and I don't know how far it goes. Yeah. Okay. This will need to be updated. And like I said, this is with the cycle factor. We didn't add it for anything beyond it because I didn't think it was ever going to get beyond 30 again. So you put it to 30 here. Why is those numbers like 0 all the way through? I don't even know what the heck that is. Do I actually have... Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I know what's going on there. There's a little formula. See, and this is where it's all... This you'll have to figure out. I'll deal with that later on. But what's happening there is there's... I even had the brakes set up. So again... What you're setting up there is you're setting up the shift. So he started at 12 minutes before the first 38 or whatever the heck it was. So that's okay right now. Maybe we'll deal with that and figure it out. But you can't really automate it too much further than what it is. So Bakersfield time is probably a mess. Yeah, because I still got the brakes in there. That has to be dealt with. And that's why it hadn't been set up in the system. I think everything else is ready. I don't see anything else going on. So what's next through the cycle? Of course, you're basically paying attention to what's happening in the yards. You'll have to monitor what's happening here. Oh, that's Bakersfield. Yeah. I'm just looking at these here now. We got some current stuff, UP North. I'm confused. Did I? Shoot. Oh, man. I see UP North stuff in here, and I see Kern, and I'm wondering, did we actually tag them? If we had cars ready, we must have ran it. Oh, wait a minute. Alright. I think what happened was we were a cycle behind with Kern, so we still have to do the previous cycle's Kern because we're still behind on that. I think the same with UP North. Oh my god. It's a mess, but we'll work on that. Everything else was already highlighted. Tags I don't usually run. That'll happen about probably somewhere before the 5 a.m., so that's like a week later. So say around next Sunday we could start running the tags. That's 7 days in. By then we should be okay. Hopefully Barstow, maybe we'll get some more recruits into Barstow. But the other yards, I'm just trying to think here. San Bernardino was the other one, which they still have to be tagged for the remainder of the cycle. And once again, this isn't, because we're spreading it out a little bit more. This will totally change because the locations of where everything was to match. Um, it's just that's the way it is. Whenever you change that cycle, some of the automation doesn't match to it. So that's got to eventually change, and it's got to be expanded. The best way to expand these are to insert here and then copy formulas, but we'll deal with that in another one. I'm going to go ahead and just see if everything's okay, if everything looks okay. As far as I know, we're good. I haven't seen anything else. Let me check one more time, and then I'm going to check on to the server. Everything else is green. Nothing else has been. We had an up. Did we have an update there? No, that was just my tag. Okay, so let me go back onto the server. Okay, just see if Mike's still awake. Mike, you still there? Just want to make sure he's still awake through all of that. It's 11:06 p.m. in the East right now. I don't know what time I started this thing at. Oh, it was at 8:30, so we were okay. Still here, okay. Good. Any other questions? No rush for time for me either, too. I mean, I usually stay up a little bit later on Sunday nights anyway, so I'm usually not tired right away, and plus I'm drinking a pop, so I don't know what the heck that was that just went popping up there. That was weird. Hopefully I didn't copy anything. I doubt it. Learned a lot. Okay, sounds good then. Okay, so I'm going to end this one. I'll just put be right back for Mike. Oh, wait. Biggest concern is how we deal with the double cars at Bakersfield. Yeah, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with it this week. So anyways, or I'll talk with you in a bit. I'll talk with you in a few minutes. Going to end the stream. Okay, so that does it for this stream anyways. For anybody else who's been hanging around, hope you guys learned a lot too. And I'm way off in the distance here while the sun's setting in California, so we're always open for comments, suggestions, improvements, questions, you name it. Anything and everything, whether it be improvements, ideas. We've had ideas. There's times where I'll have an idea and I don't always agree with it, or I don't always implement it, and I have my reasons for certain things, but it doesn't mean that I don't accept them. It just same with the Run 8 team. I've had tons of ideas for the Run 8 team. I think they implemented one of them. You can't take it personal, and I know some people have in the past. They've taken it personal. They've actually left the servers because of it, unfortunately. And they had some great ideas, and they just didn't understand the way the cycle works. So that's why I started tonight with the cycle. That leaves the foundation for everything else. So, still not sure, still have questions, still confused, whatever. I know this has been a long night. It's like around 2.5 hours. There's a lot of content on there. There's no way in hell I'd be able to edit all of this, considering that I'm still working with Mike and we're making sure California, there is opportunities available if you're interested in humping Barstow, if you're interested in switching. I know there's a switching block right now. We're going to be dealing with that very shortly and trying to figure things out there. So anyways, that's all for the live stream. Again, you have questions, concerns, leave comments, thumbs up, share, like, don't like if you don't like it, whatever. And we'll talk to you later. Have a good one.